I'm TJ. I'm going to be doing a series of videos on the committed marriage. I think that it's so important that we take care of our marriages. I believe that marriage is a covenant that we make with God. That sounds really important, doesn't it? Well, it is. So that's why I think that it's so important that we do take care of our marriages. Today we're going to talk about knowing what's important to your spouse. There are different things that are important to some people and not so important to others. So today we're going to talk about some different topics that could be important to your spouse. The first one we're going to talk about is time together. It's really good to spend as much time as we can together that's considered quality time. That could be sitting at the table, having a cup of coffee or a glass of iced tea, as long as we're talking and we're sharing and we're not on our phones, of course. Another thing that we can do that's considered good quality time is take a walk, whether it's a short walk or a long walk. Take a road trip together. Go to a restaurant and have a meal together out. But no phones, remember, those phones prevent you from really having quality time. Also, besides time together, gifting or gifts is another topic that is important to some people. Gifts don't have to be large. They can be something as simple as a pair of socks. It can be a tie for your husband. It can be flowers for your wife or a rose for your wife. It can be a box of candy. It could also be something big like that special tool that your husband's been wanting for a while. Or those special earrings or a special bracelet that your wife's been wanting. But it's not the size of the gift. It's just the idea that you took the time to get a gift for them. The third thing I want to talk about is doing things for your spouse. Now, some people call that acts of kindness. Doing things for your spouse can be things like taking care of one of the chores that they regularly do, like maybe taking the trash out on the day that they usually take it out. Wow, breakfast in bed is an awesome thing. I think a husband or a wife would enjoy that. That's something we don't get very often because we're so busy and we're rushing around, and then when we have a day off, well, we usually have that day filled with things. Sometimes we just need to slow down and do some special things for each other. Help each other with home projects. It's much better than doing it by yourself. And that gives you also time together. And I think that's a good thing to do, the projects around the house together. It's much more fun. The third thing I want to talk about today, the fourth thing is appreciation. We need to make sure that our spouse knows we appreciate the things they do for us and the things they do for our family. Appreciation can be shown in a lot of ways. Sometimes we think we show appreciation, but we kind of get in the habit of just saying, oh, thanks for taking care of that. And that's the end of it. An example could be, we have a front door that's really been sticking. The doorknob doesn't work properly, and we've asked our husband to fix it several times. He just hasn't gotten around to it. Not on purpose, but he's been busy. So one day, you're out of the house. So your spouse says, I think I'll fix that door for her today. It was his day off, had an extra day off. He could have been doing all kinds of things that he wanted to do. But instead, he wanted to do this for his wife. So he gets the supplies, he's working on the door, and there's a glitch. So, you know how that goes when you start on home projects. So it causes him to spend more than half of his day. So he's thinking, I might as well just get her a new door. She will love having a new door, and I will try to get one that I know she'll really like. So he does. He goes and he buys a brand new door, he gets it in, it's looking great. She comes in, or you come in from your trip, whether it's shopping trip or wherever you've been, you come in and you look and you notice the door. Wow, you got around to fixing the door and you bought a new one. Thank you so much. I'm glad you got around to doing that. We'll enjoy that new door. Thanks so much. I'm glad you got that done. Okay, that sounds pretty good. But what if you had said something like this? Oh, a new door. Wow. Thank you so much. Oh, that must have taken you most of your day off. I really appreciate you taking the time to do it. And the fact that you put a new door in, I love it. Great job. Thank you so much for spending your time today to do that for me. Thank you so much. I think he might realize you really appreciate a little more. Okay? So I think it's important that we think about really showing appreciation. It doesn't mean we have to make a big deal out of everything, but we need to make sure that our spouse knows that we appreciate things they do for us, whether they're small or whether they're large. The next thing that I want to talk about is affection. It's so important that we know what our spouse likes in the form of affection. Affection can be physical. It can be a hug. It can be holding hands. It can be a foot rub. It can be a massage. It can be a neck rub. But it can also be in the form of a sticky note left on the bathroom mirror that says, I love you, or it says, I hope you have a great day. It can be a sticky note in the car that says the same thing. It could be a sticky note in a book that you know that they're reading. I knew a lady once whose husband worked away a lot. So after he packed his bags, she would slip in to the room and put a note in each pair of his socks. So when he was away and he would open up those socks, there would be that note from her. And he shared with us that he really enjoyed getting those notes because it meant that she was missing him, and it made him feel more connected, and it made him feel that she really cared about him. So that was a neat way to show affection. There are so many ways to show affection. You could even mail a card to your spouse. Yeah, you're mailing it to your address, but that's really cool though. Don't you like getting something in the mail? Yeah, and that shows that you took time to do it. That says a lot. So there are a lot of different ways to show affection. So be creative and remember to show affection to your spouse. The last thing I want to talk about is encouragement, which could sort of fit in one of these other groups. But I think it's important that we let our spouse know that we support them and we encourage them. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a project they're working on. Maybe it's something that they're dealing with. But to encourage them and let them know that we support them and we're there for them. Now, you might be thinking, how do I know which one's the most important to my spouse? Well, there are different ways. One way is pay attention to what he tries or she tries to do for you, or what they do for you. Because quite often we do something for someone because we think they would like it, because we would like it. So that's one way to tell. Another way is pay attention to the things that they ask you to do. Sometimes they'll ask you to do some little silly something that you think is not important. You'll do it, but think about the things they ask you to do, because that'll give you some clues also. And if all else fails, just ask them. Say, I was watching this video the other day and they were talking about different things that were important to us, and can you tell me some things that are important to you? And then once you find out what it is, remember to try to do those things as regular as you can. It doesn't have to be every day, but as often as you can, and make sure that they're sincere. I think that it's so important that we protect our marriages. And these are just some tips on helping to know what's important to your spouse and trying to do those things. That helps us be more connected. It helps us to feel loved. So I hope you've enjoyed this session. I will be doing some more videos on this same series called The Committed Marriage. I hope that you will tune back in and to see what we have coming up next. And have a great day.